The problem with this one is that allegedly it can't start. It's considered as a stored vehicle. And it seems like they have a lot of other vehicles along the road also, based on what I overheard. Problem is, if you can't drive the vehicle away to clear the road, it gets towed as an obstruction. That same woman came over to this vehicle. Allegedly, this one can't be started either. The enforcer said it's missing a battery, so they're rushing around moving a battery between different cars. I don't know if it's like a buy and sell or what, but obviously if there's no battery, they're not moving that often. Look, there you go.
Opo. Sinabi nyo yan, ha? Kayo nagsabi niyan, ha? Hindi ako, ha?
The lady shouted that they have to operate here 24 hours a day. She should be careful what she wishes for, because if you don't have any place to park those cars and they come back, what's going to happen? Tickets again and again and again. It's going to become very expensive for you. I understand you're angry because your vehicles are being ticketed, but they gave you a chance. They could have towed them immediately as stored vehicles instead of letting you mess around with the batteries. And in fact, their neighbors might be happier if they got towed away, because there was a guy just this morning complaining about that abandoned vehicle outside his house. That's a problem. The streets are full of parked cars. A lot of them aren't even moving, just sitting there for however long. This vehicle here has no license plates, and according to the enforcer, the owner told him it's been sitting here since the pandemic unused. So that gives you an idea of just how many vehicles are sitting on the road, adding to traffic every day, and they're not even being used. In many countries, you cannot park on a public road unless you have a valid registration, and even then, they make you move it every 72 hours to avoid abandoned vehicles or unused vehicles being left on the road. I don't know whether this has a valid registration, but if it hasn't been used since the pandemic, then according to the documents that the owner showed to the enforcer, it's last registered 2018. So it seems like the reason why they had it on the bricks is there's no wheel nuts holding the wheel on. Well, I'll give props to the towing crew. They have come prepared. They're going to jack it up, throw in some nuts, and then job done. The older gentleman here was saying that he should have been given notice before they operated on this road. That's not how it works. If a vehicle is illegally parked, then they can ticket or tow it. They do have the option of showing a license and driving away if they want just a ticket. Seems like a lot of vehicles on this road, well, looks like they haven't moved for a long time. I could be wrong though. Good morning everyone, MMDA back on the road. Right now they're issuing tickets to these vehicles. They coordinated with the barangays and they said there's no parking both sides. Why did I say barangays? Well, apparently one side of the street is under one barangay, the other side of the street is under a different barangay. So they write out the tickets, and if the drivers don't come out, they go up on the tow trucks. The last time the team were here, a lot of people ran out of their homes and moved their cars. So far today, I haven't actually seen anyone come out. The enforcer spoke to one of the residents here and said, "Is this yours?" He said, "No, it's been parked here for a long time." So probably he's going to be happy when this finally gets towed away. And it's not just private vehicles, there's commercial vehicles like these vans over here. I have a feeling a lot of these are going to go up on the tow truck because sometimes people park them here even if they don't live here. I can't be sure, but let's see. Most of the properties around here have huge garages, but I guess perhaps they have multiple vehicles, or sometimes people just don't want to take them inside. And here's something you see a lot. People put stuff in the road to either reserve parking or to stop other people from parking. Quezon City actually has a specific ordinance which prohibits reserving space on a public road. I cannot be sure the exact reason why these have been placed here, but you could probably take a guess. What I'm wondering is if this is a public alleyway, because you can pass all the way through to the next road. Yes, it's been converted to parking, but is it actually private or is it public? So apparently there used to be a barangay hall here and then it was knocked down. So I guess eventually this might be developed into a nice alley like they did with the one in Maganhawa. And in fact, there you go. Tow trucks are already starting to pick up those vehicles that don't have a driver. I think somewhere nearby is where the team operated on the weekend, and allegedly someone came out of their home and gave them a hard time, arguing that they're allowed to park because it's in front of their house. You don't own the road in front of your house, right? It's a public road still. Anyway, you see the tow trucks rolling up here now with their cargoes, those who go to Tomana. And that's an interesting sign. Please do not park here if you do not live here. Like I mentioned earlier, you do not own the road in front of your home. The team did coordinate with all of the barangays in this area, so for sure the paperwork is all in order. Anyway, you see that one in the background is already picked up, and they're just hooking up to this one here. If you tell people we're going to clear your road tomorrow, of course they would move their car just for tomorrow, and then they'll put it back again. So there's no such thing as advance notice of a clearing operation. The difficulty on this street is that some people don't want to show their license and take a ticket, so it ends up being towed away. I'm not talking specifically about this vehicle. That vehicle has quite a bit of damage on the door panel. That's why the towing crew document it before they pick it up, so there's no complaint later. Can you imagine if every road looked like this? Not just after clearing, but all the time? My goodness. Say goodbye to traffic, right?